Morning number 1845. Good morning on Morsels of a Thought. 1845. We are reading from All the Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. We're reading Morsels of a Thought of what is preferably wisdom, because knowing the right thing to do in your life is a form of wisdom, and then doing it is virtue. Action is magic. So we bring virtue into the world. Action is magic, according to an author. And these authors are Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. I'm reading to you what they have to say through their life experiences. And I'm going to continue with the chapter that we were reading, starting over Rules for the Mature Woman. Okay, I'm going to start with putting the light a little closer to myself because I have my contact lenses on and I can read far away. I'm farsighted now. Interestingly, if you are an older woman, the rules may come as no surprise to you. You probably agree with our ideas more than your 25 or 35-year-old daughters. After all, when you were dating 30 or 40 years ago, before the full advent of feminism, Dutch treat, and the sexual revolution, the rules was the accepted way to date. It was the only way to date. Back then, you didn't call men, ask them out, sleep with them on the first date, or live together before marriage. You didn't think twice about it either. It just wasn't done. Now, trying to remember. If I had had children, they would be 35 by now. Yeah, that would be about right. But that doesn't mean you did the rules in their entirety, and it doesn't mean you don't have things to learn, especially if your first marriage was a disaster. Now, I'm going to adjust the lighting again. So we can see the book title, All the Rules, Time-Tested Secrets for Capturing the Heart of Mr. Right. All right. Your mother may have told you not to chase men, but did she tell you to pursue a career and or interests, to develop boundaries and self-esteem, and not to make a man the center of your life or accept his bad behavior? Did she tell you to did she tell you to marry for love, not just to get out of the house or to be taken care of financially? If she didn't, you need the rules. We have heard from older women who said that their first marriages ended in divorce, not necessarily because they pursued their husbands, but for other reasons that simply would not have occurred if they had done the rules. For example, they married a good friend, someone whom they felt affection for, but not passion, and their marriage and sex life reflected it. They married for financial security and were miserable emotionally. They married because of social pressures to do so. They didn't want to be spinsters. They did not negotiate. They did not recognize the signs, or they chose to ignore them. They thought, my love will change him, and married an alcoholic, a gambler, or a womanizer, and lived to regret it. Love was not enough. They didn't create an interesting life of their own and became completely dependent on their husbands, which drove them away. Husbands run when they had that. These women did not necessarily chase these men, but they did not do the rules either. The rules are not just about getting married, but about marrying Mr. Right and having a fulfilling life of your own. So, if you find yourself in the dating market again because you are divorced or a widow, use what your mother taught you. Don't chase men, but also do the rules. Create a life of your own and only date and marry men you truly care for who treat you well. Don't yeah. Don't marry believing you will change him. If he is a little abusive or puts you down in any way before marriage, it will only get worse. If you're from the old school, not calling a man or sleeping with him on the first date is probably easy for you. So you must work on other changes that could prevent you from catching Mr. Right. For example, have you stopped caring about your appearance, gained weight, stopped wearing makeup, or cut down on salon visits? If you're divorced, are you bitter about men because of your failed marriage? Or too eager and available, not challenging and mysterious when men do show interest? If you're a widow, do you feel hopeless about finding a love as great as your first husband? Have you stopped socializing? Or when do you go out, or when you do go out occasionally, and you are you unenthusiastic? If some or all of the above is the case, here are some rules for you to work on. Don't let yourself go. Remember, you are a creature unlike any other. This rule applies to older women as much as to 25-year-olds. It has nothing to do with age, it's mental. Think you're beautiful and worthwhile, and you will be. Think positive. Keep your mind occupied with interesting ideas, activities, people, and reading material, and you will be interesting. You'll have something to talk about on dates other than your doctor's visits and grandchildren. Whatever you do, don't neglect your appearance. There is no reason you shouldn't do everything you can to look attractive. Don't console yourself with excess food or alcohol or painkillers. Eat right, exercise daily, and wear pretty clothes. Read books by Helen Gurley Brown, The Late Show, and Joan Rivers, Bouncing Back, that focus on being positive and exercising to fight off aging. Try to emulate them or anyone else you know who is your age and in good shape. Be old fashioned about dating, but youthful about your attitude and looks. Socialize. You must. If you're recently divorced or widowed, your feelings probably range from lonely and lost to bitter and confused, especially if your husband died or left you for a younger woman. You might be suffering from grief, fear, and panic. Perhaps you haven't dated in 30 years and don't know where to begin. Of course, you must allow yourself time to grieve. Grieving is a natural is Grieving is natural and healthy, but don't let it go on too long. We are reading from All the Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, the time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right. Morsels of a Thought is all about bringing virtue into the world, which is starting off with morsels of a thought of wisdom knowing what to do. So we read what other people have done and done right and what they say through their life experiences so we can learn the right things to do so that we can create virtue. Yay! Uh-huh. Okay, now if you want to remarry or at least have a loving companion, we're reading about the mature woman starting over. You must make every effort to meet men instead of believing that your life is over and all you have to look forward to is grandchildren. Tell yourself that there are plenty of divorced men and widowers out there and go where you can meet them. We understand that this is not always easy or pleasant. You would much rather stay at home and watch TV, call your children, knit, cook, or read a book, but don't become a recluse or spend every free evening going to the movies and dinner with other women. Don't have don't bury yourself in canasta, card games, or mahjong with your single friends. These are all pleasant ways to pass time, and you should do them sometimes, but they are no way to meet men. Motivate yourself to take social actions by thinking of spending your old age with a loving man, not only as a companion to your married couple friends and your children. Think of how a romance will brighten up your life and the benefits of spending nights, weekends, and vacations with a man. I'm liking this already. Where to meet men. Try everything. Go to museums, church, synagogue, vacations, cruises for your age group, or get involved in a charity or a sport such as golf where men are sure to be found. You must force yourself. So you can go to temple if you're Muslim. You can go to synagogue if you're Jewish. You can go to church if you're Christian. You can go to gatherings if you're what do they call it? Wiccan or something? Anyway, be on the lookout for men who are newly single. Keep in mind that men who have been married for most of their adult lives are often lost and searching for someone to fill that void. Show up wherever they may be found. But remember, they must approach you. If you can't find a woman to go to social events with, go alone. In fact, you might be better off alone. Other men who are sometimes not so confident, older men who are themselves not so confident socially may feel uncomfortable invading a group of women. So, if you do attend a party or lecture with a group, at least at least stand a little apart from the other women you came with, so you look approachable. Take care to appear relaxed no matter how you really feel. For example, don't clutch your pocketbooks tightly against your chest as if you are trying to ward off a mugger. Be happy and carefree on dates. You probably have had your share of life's difficulties and maybe even some physical ailments. Possibly you're worried because your daughter is getting divorced, your back bothers you, your husband died and left you with big bills, you have high blood pressure, or had a brush with cancer. You may have plenty to complain about, but try to complain to your women friends, not to a man you are dating. Be cheerful and light. Don't let him think that you are desperate to remarry, concerned about money, or feel lost without a man. It's not good to seem desperate. Once you start dating someone you like, almost all the rules apply. Don't call him. Of course, you already knew that, but you can return his calls. While older men enjoy the chase, it's a different kind of hunt. It's no longer a bungee jump. They're not looking for that kind of thrill. They're not looking to have children with you. They're older, they're tired, they've been through many things, so you can call them back the next day. Try to use the 24-hour rule. Wait 24 hours before returning the call. Don't accept a last minute date and don't see him unless it's for the weekend. If he's always asking you out for for what? Oh, sorry. If he's always asking you out for tea on Tuesday, he doesn't think you're that special or he has a girlfriend. Let him pick you up and take you to dinner. Don't mention your children or grandchildren and show pictures of them or ask him to meet them unless he suggests it. And don't ask about his children or ex wife unless he brings them up. Don't volunteer information about your ex husband. If he asks about your divorce, just say the relationship didn't work out. If you are a widow, don't get too emotional or show how much you are suffering. This will be hard, but you must. Now we are reading from All the Rules, Time-Tested Secrets for Capturing the Heart of Mr. Right in Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom. We have to read what other people say through their life experiences so we can know what to do for ourselves if we like what they do. Okay, keep it casually. Keep it casual in the beginning and end the date first. Wait until you are in a committed relationship. He is calling you regularly and asking you out for Saturday nights for several months to become very involved or go away with him. Don't buy him expensive gifts or pamper him, even if you are a wealthy woman and can afford to do so. Also, if you have more money than he does and he wants to marry you, don't be shy about asking him to sign a prenuptial agreement. Of course, if he asks you to sign a prenup, go ahead. You are not marrying for money. Older women might not necessarily want to remarry. The reasons are usually children and money. But if you do want to get married and he doesn't, then you must pull back a little. Stop seeing him for a few weeks, go on a separate vacation, give him an ultimatum, whatever shakes him up a little, and see how he responds. If getting remarried is not that important to you, if it's love and companionship you want, not a wedding and lifestyle that you crave, then it's fine to live with him or go steady forever. You can act married, go away on vacations together and split the expenses. You can even spend a whole winter with him in your condo in Florida. So long as he is calling you, making you feel special, weekend dinners and flowers and holidays, and is civil to your children, you don't have to walk down the aisle again. For you, the second time around is about having someone you love who loves you to spend your golden years with. That's for the mature woman starting over. Now, the next part is rules for same sex relationships. It's not that long. Chapter 23, rules for same sex relationships. Do the rules apply to same sex relationships? If so, how? Do both people do the rules or one? Which one? Confused? Don't be. It's really quite simple. It's a self diagnosable problem. If you are reading this book or this chapter right now, you probably can apply the rules to your life. If you read the rules and identified with the feelings of hurt and abandonment that come when a relationship ends and thought to yourself, I wish they would put a same sex chapter because if they substituted a few words, I could really relate, then you do need the rules. Everyone who is gay or lesbian knows whether or not they are the kind of person who needs structure, some sort of self-protection in a relationship. If you are this type of person, if you are this type of person, you're probably very sensitive. You think a lot, obsessively, obsessively may be more accurate, about the other person and the relationship. You get down, really down when overlooked or rejected. You're not the type who naturally moves on. You don't think breakups are for the best. You think they are downright devastating. Perhaps you've been hurt before or experienced a lifetime of hurts, not to mention the social pressures that go along with being gay. You want to be in a loving relationship, but you can't bear getting hurt again. Then the rules are for you. Much of the focus on issues has been coming to recognize and accept one's sexual identity, not on how to behave in same sex relationships. This chapter attempts to fill that void with some sound advice. The rules can work like a charm when used by individuals who want to know the how to of dating when they are completely at ease with their sexuality, but at an emotional roadblock as to how to proceed. Do you ask someone out or wait to be asked? Should you play hard to get? Don't think there aren't any rules. There are. It's just that there's a little more camaraderie and mutuality in same sex relationships than in male female relationships. You can show some interest. You can return some phone calls. It's not so one sided. There's more balance. When you go out to places alone or with friends, you're open to meeting someone. You're just not desperate. You don't aggressively approach anyone at a party. You smile back if someone smiles at you, and if someone moves a little closer to you, you give it it's okay to move in closer smile. You want to let the person know you're approachable, that you are open to the idea of meeting someone, but that's all. Eventually, a conversation begins. It's going well. You're both animated. You laugh at the room, at the night, at the jokes, but you don't bare your soul, your feelings. You're lighthearted. You come on slow, not like the gangbusters. You're not too much, too soon. Ah, see? That's some of the theories of the rules. You're not too much, too soon. That goes for all of us who do the rules. When we take action, we're not too much too soon. That's wisdom there. Okay. Being gay or lesbian, perhaps you've felt a little isolated or separate your whole life. You've been waiting to meet someone who understands, quote unquote. But when you do actually meet someone special, don't reveal too much. Find a good friend or therapist to share your intimate problems with. Don't unload all of your past history on a new person, or for they will probably be overwhelmed by your intensity. Worse, they may be very happy to have you depend so much on them, but it will create the kind of codependent, needy relationship you don't want. It's very hard to keep from sharing too much when you find someone who is receptive. After all, these aren't a lot of people. There aren't a lot of people who understand what you have had to go through, but motivate yourself to use restraint with the knowledge that you are building a solid relationship and sparing yourself the pain that accompanies the inevitable end of an overly dependent one. So, be casual. The person must give you signs that they would like to get together again. You will get a feeling. It's different from a male female relationship because if the man doesn't ask the woman out, then that's it. It's over. In same sex relationships, the lines are a little more blurry. But rules still exist, and following them is not as hard as you think. Pace the relationship. Get to know the person you're interested in slowly. Don't spill all the beans during a 3 hour coffee date. You are drawn to the person, but you don't bear all. Wait as long as you can, knowing that the more mysterious you are, the better. The idea is to bring the spirit of the rules into your dating life. You should never pursue anyone relentlessly. If there's no mutual interest, no give and take, then there's nothing. If the person you're involved with seems to enjoy being the pursuer, that's great and actually makes things easier. You enjoy being pursued and you're sure of their feelings for you, so you're less anxious. Regardless, don't stay on the phone for hours and don't see the person at a moment's notice. You have a life, you have other plans, you are not waiting to be rescued. Don't feel pressured to have sex right away. Don't see this person all the time or live together until you're exclusive. Maintain your self esteem and self respect. If the other person has a wandering eye, neglects you, or constantly makes sexual comments about other people when you're around, move on to new possibilities. You know that a relationship without boundaries, without give and take, is not a relationship that is worth having. Perhaps you've settled before. Now, armed with the rules, you don't. You don't want anything less than lasting, secure love. You want the best. You deserve the best. And by following the rules, you will get the best. Okay, so today I'm an hour early because I'm changing the time of my show from 6:10 a.m. Pacific time to 5:10 a.m. Pacific time. So it will now be at 8:10 a.m. Eastern time, 7:10 a.m. Central time, 6:10 a.m. Mountain Time, and 5:10 Pacific Time. I don't know about Hawaii time, but Alaska time it will be 4:10. So I might not see very many people from Alaska unless they wake up before 4. So okay, I will talk to you later, and I hope this didn't take everybody by surprise. I am an hour early today because I am changing the time of the show. I'm sorry it was this sudden, but it happened by my going swimming the other day. And so now I shall go swimmingly onto my day on Tuesdays. Okay? Oh, but no, we're doing 5:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every day. Okay? Old Kinderhook.